Hello everyone. I just said let me tell those people if they're not here, let me do a report to them. This is what Mr. Peter Obi said yesterday on Space. You know he had a Space discussion on the 29th of March, which was yesterday, right? Mr. Peter Obi said the Ramadan tour hasn't stopped. We are taking a break for Easter. After this weekend, we'll continue the tour. So, for those of you that have been angry that Peter Obi has been going around at the northern part of the country, visiting mosques, meeting with people, commissioning boreholes and all of that, I just say let me tell you that your anger is not stopping soon. No, you have to increase the volume of the anger. And if you want me to help you increase the volume of the anger, we can do it. No wahala. The guy said he's not stopping. He doesn't care whether you are crying, you are not crying, you are talking, you are not talking. When I go on Twitter, I just see all sorts of things. People who are coming to attack him and say all sorts of these things. Oh, you can never win election. You can't do this. You have to apologize. They say the church take back your country. This, that. I'm like, the thing that surprises me the most there. If something is not important, you don't bother about it. That's the truth. You know it's so important. You know it's not when you know something is not an option, you are not even concerned. When you know something is not a threat, you are not bothered. When you know that something is not in the equation, you are not bothered. But this one that at every time your this thing nerves, you understand, they are standing up. You see what they call these veins. Your veins are standing up. They are like this, they are like this, they are like this, they are like this. Anytime you hear Peter Obi matter, your brain go dey like this, like this, like this. Now you dey do yourself. Bros, may I tell you, now you dey do yourself. Better undo yourself and free yourself and go and live your life. Because the people wey we know say they know important, we no dey even remember them, talk less of talking about them. This one that you are so focused, you're so angry at what somebody is doing, he's doing his own. Go and do your own. If it's about your principal, go and tell your principal to do his own. That's the thing about life. He's minding his business. But anyway, Shase, let me tell you that he has more places that he's going to, and he's going to be doing them. And as it is, very cool. Very the guy no send though. You no even send. You don't know that you the verse. You know the verse. You know the look. You just dey do cool. They do your own thing. So me shall just say me I do small amebo. Me I come meet you here. And honestly, the reviews have been amazing. The feedback amazing. Like I spoke with someone earlier today that was in Kano, when they did all of that meeting, it was like that even some of the people in the Kano, this were not telling you that such an important personality was coming. Why didn't he inform us? You know, like, he don't want anybody to say anything. We're like, no, that they were deceived into voting this Muslim ticket. Yes, I talk. Sack your mates. Elections have consequences, so you do anyhow you say, and you no send anybody. And I always say something about Nigeria. It is turn by turn. Nigeria limited. If you want it to be your turn to suffer, Nigeria will give it to you. Nigeria doesn't discriminate when it comes to such thing. So it's really been quite a very interesting journey, and it's really been very interesting outing that Mr. Peter Obi have had. One of the things, like yesterday when he was trying to be on Space, do that Space discussion, there were a lot of things. First of all, he couldn't use his phones. He tried, and this was someone who categorically had, put himself where he was going to have good internet, set everything up so that nothing would be interrupted, and yet at the end of the day, he couldn't even use his own Twitter handle. Everything was he just couldn't get on it, and it's quite interesting, to see how, in spite of all the things that are going on. But anyway, there are certain other conversations that came up from the Twitter engagement that Mr. Peter Obi had, and that one of the things also he said, which was quite interesting, he said We promised to build Nigeria. We did not promise to build a new Labour Party. As a governor, I told the people of Anambra, but we promised to change Anambra, that we did not promise to change APGA, but to change, Anambra, where people are talking about the Labour Party and all of that. And then there was also something he said. He said it won't be easy for them to rig our elections again. I also something like, if I tell you what I'm going through in the hands of government, you tell me why I'm not in the street shouting. There were quite a lot of nuggets that came out of the tweet X space that he had on X, formerly Twitter. Then on the issue of the borehole, the borehole, he said, I don't think, Mr. Peter Obi said, I don't think digging any single borehole will cost more than 10 million. Anybody constructing a single borehole for 190 million must be constructing a special borehole. And then on the issue of campaign pension for ex-governors, and of course you do know that Mr. Peter Obi hasn't been collecting pension. He refused to collect that. All those things that they say they give deputy governors, he refused to collect that. And he said, I've always argued and campaigned against pension for governors and their deputies, and I will continue to do so. And then on the issue of Olumide Akpata of Edo State, he said, Olumide Akpata is my candidate. That's who I categorically support because he's qualified. So that was also Peter Obi on. So there were quite a lot of conversation that went on. Then there was also the place where he said, as of today, I'm still a member of the Labour Party. I don't do anti-party activities. And then here also where he said, the people are the ones suffering, and it is time for them to resist and say no to this criminality in the establishment. I'm not campaigning. Politics is what you do in and out of office. It's bad that politics in Nigeria is transactional. Providing power supply is not rocket science. Of course, that's Mr. Peter Obi saying. And then another thing he said, kidnapping is an organized criminality that needs to be crumbled in Nigeria. So there are a lot of he also said we can deal with the insecurity if we are determined to deal with it. There were so many things that he spoke about, things that different nuggets that people have now taken. And as I'm speaking about this tonight, I'm just thinking, I'm like, it would really be interesting to just do Mr. Peter Obi said and just pick a lot of the nuggets on this thing and just do a video on it, just like I've done this part. But anyway, I say make I tell you, Mr. Peter Obi is going to continue his Ramadan tour in the north. So if that thing has been bad bellying you, you go drink flagy be that too, no vex.